heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8".
Canelo Alvarez said that Terence Crawford would be easy to beat, but Crawford has now hit back.
You know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, you know?
The new world champion didn't like what Alvarez said, and said that Alvarez isn't as good as he thinks he is.
I think Crawford don't give me wrong. He's a great fighter.
The pound-for-pound king hit Canelo Alvarez back for not recognizing how good he is in the ring and thinking their much-anticipated fight would be easy.
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
That fight could happen because Mexican great Canelo Alvarez has made it possible. The opponent is Terence Crawford, who just won a fight. His statement has set the boxing world abuzz with excitement and speculation, as he is ready to face Crawford. But there's a catch. The price has to be right.
But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So
the three-belt super middleweight champion didn't mince words about the possible matchup. He acknowledged Crawford's skill, but showed confidence in his own abilities. He stated that he would be open to fighting Crawford if the price intrigues him.
money is right. I'm in because I don't like to fight guys like.
Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in, said Alvarez via Sway Universe. This potential clash of titans comes on the heels of Crawford's recent win.
I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean?
The American boxer barely defeated Israel Madrimov in a controversial decision last Saturday. Despite the win, Crawford's showing left some fans underwhelmed.
At the same time, I believe in my abilities.
And he finally fired back at Canelo Alvarez for claiming a fight against him was an easy fight, while Crawford was lenient in his retort. He ran a quick assessment of Canelo Alvarez's ability and claimed Canelo isn't actually who he thinks he is.
He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8".
He said, "I've just been talking. Man, Canelo is a big dude. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my skills. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. He's 5'8", I'm 5'8". My arms are longer than his. You know that fight won't be easy, it'll be good."
I mean, my arm's longer than his. You know?
Canelo, ever the businessman, sees a chance in this matchup. He's open to the fight, but only if the financial terms meet his standards. The Mexican champion's asking price is reported to be in the $150 million range. That's enough money to buy a small island.
That'll work. Yeah, you're in. So if
However, Crawford's team might have different ideas about the purse split. They argue that Crawford gets similar money to Canelo Alvarez. It's a bold claim given Crawford's limited experience in mega fights in a stunning development that set the boxing world abuzz, a dream matchup inches closer to reality. Turki Alalshik, the mastermind behind the Riyadh season, has dropped a surprise about Canelo versus Crawford.
I give him the offer. If he is smart, he will accept it.
The chairman of the General Entertainment Authority stated he's made an offer to Canelo Alvarez for this potential mega fight could put two of boxing's brightest stars against each other. Alalshik didn't mince words when discussing the plan with DAZN. "I gave Alvarez an offer. If he's smart, he'll accept it. If they accept, we want to see this fight," said Alalshik via DAZN.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford don't get me wrong.
Both fighters are coming off recent wins. Canelo won over Jaime Munguia, while Crawford edged out Israel Madrimov in a nail-biter. These wins have only height and the anticipation for a possible clash. However, there's a catch, and it's a weighty one. Crawford's recent fight was at 154 pounds, while Canelo Alvarez works at 168 pounds. But Crawford, ever the warrior, has hinted at his readiness to bulk up.
Fight with him.
If the money is right,
The possibility of a lucrative payday can be quite the motivation booster. Who wouldn't consider putting on a few pounds for a multi-million-dollar paycheck? However, Canelo Alvarez must first overcome the big test in front of him, which is his fight against Edgar Berlanga. Regarding the fight, Terence Crawford predicted,
Just hit the heels with this fight. I think Berlanga could be a great,
While Crawford was laser-focused on adding to his boxing reputation last weekend, that didn't stop Bud from giving his thoughts on Alvarez versus Berlanga. "I think Alvarez stops Berlanga. Crawford mentioned this in a recent interview with The Stomping Ground.
Champion someday,
I think Berlanga is head over heels with this fight. He continued, I think Berlanga can be a great winner someday. I just think
now Canelo is just too much for him.
Very rarely do we see a man, I know this fight's at 150.
If Canelo gets past Berlanga just as Crawford has gotten past Madrimov, then at that point the pair will continue their charge toward making the super bout happen, going up from 154 pounds to 168 pounds to lock it in.
That fight with Canelo, if it happened, would be at 168, go up 2 divisions and win. Why is it different in Terence Bud Crawford's case?
Because skills pay the bill.
And if it does all line up, Crawford has the utmost faith in his authority over the sweet science skills that pay the bills. Crawford said about his supposed edge over Alvarez, and I got the skills to pay them.
I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me.
Crawford surprised fans and analysts when, after a statement, Errol Spence Jr. win to become undisputed at 147. He said he wanted to move up 3 divisions to 168 to fight Canelo for world titles. The Mexican hasn't entertained the cow out much, claiming he would get no credit for beating the smaller man and saying the fight wasn't in his immediate plans.
Take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he needs to enjoy his fight.
Still, he has been open that money is a driving factor in his decision-making and won't rule the bout out totally. With that in mind, he was asked by Match Hype back in 2022 if it would be a tough match to train for. I think Crawford would be tough to prepare for because he is southpaw and orthodox. I think he's a very tough fighter.
He deserves it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything, but I need...
Canelo then revealed the 2 keys to victory: con and body shots. Just be patient, prepare myself like always, and be patient. Work the body, but I think being patient is the key. Everybody looks for the head, and it's very tough to hit that kind of fighter in the head.
Face of boxing, so they make a big deal.
Hey, listen, face of boxing, Mr. Knockout King right here.
However, the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority revealed to ESPN that he is looking at making the super fight in either December or January over in the United States. Saudi Arabia has practically taken over the combat sports world, especially boxing, and the face of all of this is Turki Alalshik.
As you guys heard, Gervonta said, I'm the face of boxing.
From making deals with the UFC to bringing high-profile guests to boxing events, he has done it all. Now he is after another thing, getting Canelo Alvarez to agree to fight Terence Crawford. I'm working to bring Canelo, but it will be a big fight for Crawford. Alalshik said, I'll talk with him. The names of the former two-weight, undisputed champion Crawford is working with Alalshik for his upcoming clash against World Boxing Association super welterweight champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd in Los Angeles.
That's the challenge, Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol winner, and would like to make Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Providing he wins the fight against Canelo, a battle with Bud should come next. You got 2 of the top fights of this decade, not just in the past year or so. Crawford said of a possible meeting with Canelo, you've got 2 fighters that have been at the top for 10 years. You got the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and you got the #1 money man. I never like to overlook anybody. I have a fight coming up on August 3rd, and that's where my major focus.
What do you think about that fight in terms of you fighting Canelo? Did you see opportunity for yourself?
Definitely.
Canelo showed he is still the best 168-pounder on the planet when he retained his undisputed super middleweight titles on Saturday night against Jaime Munguia via unanimous decision. Crawford was in attendance for the fight and gave his verdict in the immediate aftermath.
What do you think about that fight in terms of you fighting Canelo? Did you see opportunity for yourself?
Definitely.
That what kind?
A lot.
I thought it was a good fight, he added. I thought Manu fought hard. I just think his inexperience caught up to him and made him fall in and square up. And not moving in with his punches allowed Canelo to sit back, counter, and pick his shots. Canelo was a real patient.
What about that fight?
It was a good fight. McGee showed his heart, determination, He just wasn't stepping in. Canelo kind of looked like he carried him.
Alalshik is also planning to stage a UK-USA 5 vs 5 event for December in the same format as the Queensberry Matchroom 5 vs 5 on June 1st, but with a team of British boxers fighting against a team of Americans. This is all part of the Saudi boxing chief's plan to improve boxing. Boxing is broken, but I think we don't need to get everything back together, said Alalshik.
Number 5, of course, it is the heavyweight.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, you are in serious.
Oh, no.
You are in serious.
Indeed, boxing sat at the top of the global sports landscape for much of the 20th century, but with the best matchups being relegated to pay-per-view, the sport's lack of a centralized governing body, and the minimization of pugilism at the Olympics, the sport has waned in popularity since we need to improve it with something else. We have a strategic vision where we have found untapped opportunities and are committed to market improvement.
They know I love the heavyweight. You can add any fighters you want as number 5 heavyweight. Not fighter only from Queensberry or Match.
The fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford will surely be one of the biggest boxing fights ever. They're two boxing titans that hold all the gold in their various divisions, but a matchup between them has always looked impossible. However, if recent events are anything to go by, a mega fight between undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez and previous undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford might be moved from the fantasy fight section into reality. Canelo Alvarez boasts 61 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, while Terence Crawford is perfect with 41 wins in all 41 fights with 31 knockout victories. Both fighters had their last outings end with dominant wins. Canelo appointed Hearn Manga while Crawford beat his Israel Madrimov to become a 4-weight world champion.
He just keep getting up. He like, man, I'm not giving up. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna keep getting up and I'm gonna keep fighting. So, you know, yeah, he did what he had to do to last the time that...
As a result, both fighters are in high demand with fans and media hyping up a possible showdown between them. The Saudi promoter, who now holds sway over major promotions and is surging as the fulcrum of boxing, stays committed to ensuring he has the biggest fight made. With his venture into American land with Israel Madrimov vs Crawford in Los Angeles on August 3rd as a Riyadh season event, the signs are clear. Alalshik is known for his deep pockets and love of sports, and he is eager to bring Crawford his fight of choice. He wants to fix boxing, and one way to do it is to stage fights that fans want to see, like Alvarez vs Crawford, so the 42-year-old has stated his desire to pour his money in and make it happen. He told ESPN's Mike Kopinger, "I will give Canelo what I think is a fair price. If he takes it, he deals directly with me to finish the deal. I don't want anyone in the middle. I promised Crawford a big fight. I want Canelo for Crawford, and Crawford wants Canelo, but if Canelo is crazy with his financial demands, I will still promise Crawford any fight he wants, the God." Linchpin has already taken the heavyweight division by its horns and helped stage Alexander Usyk vs Tyson Fury. He was trying to expand his influence on other weight categories too. Unquestionably, Alvarez vs Crawford is the perfect chance to do it. Will he be able to splash close to $150 million, once asked by the Mexican champion for fighting David Benavidez? The price tags don't deter his excellency, Turkey Alalshik, but why is Crawford, 36, hellbent on facing the super middleweight champion? Crawford, at 40, has almost cemented his reputation with a win over Errol Spence Jr., becoming undisputed at 147. However, he wants to close his career with a bang with the biggest fight of his career, and he sees Alvarez, 34, as the perfect fit, but stated the same when he sat down with Ariel Helwani and declared, "Canelo is going to bring way more to my reputation and way more to my bank account. I want to have a memory that's something that people talk about for ages." I want to have a bank account that lasts as well. But while Usyk predicted the fight in favor of Terence Crawford, their stare down makes things look like there's been some damage to his friendship with Terence Crawford. Recently, Matchroom boxing promoter Eddie Hearn was asked about the Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight, and if Canelo wants the fight once he's down with Edgar Berlanga, as there have been talks of him not wanting the fight because he won't get the credit for defeating a smaller Crawford.
Be a little bit tongue-in-cheek, because I know Sal will fight anybody, but he also knows that that's a big fight, and it is a massive fight. It's one of the biggest in boxing.
Eddie Hearn answered, I think Canelo will take any fight if the money is right. He has no fear. He definitely does not have a fear of Terence Crawford. I think he is more worried about the plots he will get for his victory if he wins that fight. It's like he beat a 154-pounder and a 147-pounder who just came up. If he loses that fight, it's like, oh, he got beat by a 154-pounder with Canelo. He chooses fighters in the styles that he likes. I truly think that's why he chose Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. He likes guys that come forward and fight him. I don't think he likes facing fighters who move.
And if you pay Sal the right money, he will take the fight. Whether that's 150.
He then continued, his body is probably not quite what it was when Jermall Charlo ran off the back foot. Canelo didn't like it or enjoy it. He wants someone that comes to fight. He'll fight anyone. He also, in his head, has a number that he thinks fights are worth. It's just whether that's reasonable. Eddie Hearn was also asked about how he would describe his on-again, off-again friendship with Canelo Alvarez, who will next fight Matchroom's Berlanga on a PBC show.
He does fight, but just
Benavidez moved to 175. For some, not my business as to why that didn't happen, but other than that fight, tell me who else Canelo should have fought in September. He's got 2 mandatories, William Skull.
Eddie Hearn replied, my friendship with Canelo is really honest. I consider him a friend. He's one of the greatest fighters of our time. He's pound for pound great. He's a legend. I really understand him in terms of when we do business together. We get on well. That's why we can always work together and shake hands, because we do good business together. I don't get offended when another better chance comes along for him, he says. I'm sorry, I have to take this all things equal. I think he would always choose us, but when there is a better chance, he won't hesitate to choose that one. It's not a loyalty thing either, it's an honest thing, and I'm going to do the right thing for me. When we signed Berlanga, I told him we would get him the Canelo fight.
And Edgar Berlanga, you know, a young, big punching Puerto Rican, undefeated, and he will come and give us a great fight.
But I think that would be us promoting Canelo and picking Berlanga. We did it the hard way and went and got a deal with PBC for the fight. Yeah, it's an interesting situation. I will be pulling for Edgar Berlanga come set 14, while being respectful to the true great Canelo Alvarez. Also, Hearn was asked why he thought the Canelo Alvarez vs David Benavidez fight would not be happening. Hearn said, I think that sometimes in fighting, not ego but, like, things will be said between teams, and people will feel disrespected. When you feel disrespected, sometimes you don't want to give them the chance, or you want to make sure you get paid for that opportunity. I think Canelo sees the possible financial opportunities around that fight, and he probably wants to build it and say, I'll take that fight, but pay for it.
So, you know, I believe he's earned the right for this fight, commercially. I told him I'd deliver him the fight. We've got it. We've got the lottery ticket. Time to make it count.
It's a dangerous fight, but Benavidez is now competing at 175 pounds. He's a huge guy, and in the ring, without a recovery clause, he is going to be the bigger guy. I think Canelo knows that's a tough fight, whether or not it's real that he wants $150 million or he put that out there to get close to $100 million. He wouldn't hesitate to take that fight. There is no part of him that feels like he wouldn't win that fight. He knows that rivalry means big money. Benavidez is now officially competing at 175 pounds, and he's lined up for the winner of Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol as the WBC mandatory.
Actor for the people.
Just keep going. I mean, keep obviously working on these Riyadh season events, you know, and keep developing our stars in America. Diego Pacheco's coming up August 31st. I think he's a guy that could fight Canelo Alvarez in the next 12 or 18 months.
We saw Khalil Cohen from Jersey.
Great fighter. You know, Ray Ford's coming back as well.
Eddie Hearn was then asked how sure he was about delivering the Bivol-Benavidez fight. If the Matchroom promoted Bivol wins against BB, he replied, I know that His Excellency Turki Alalshik wants the winner of the Bivol Beterbiev fight to take on João Pia cruiserweight as well. His Excellency has all kinds of different ideas. I'm sure His Excellency likes Benavidez as well. He's a fun fighter, but I don't think Benavidez beats Dmitry Bivol, to be honest, but he's a very good fighter. Let's see if our man can do his job first against Beterbiev on 12. There are big fights out there. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay linked with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.